What's going on, YouTube? Last Musketeer here, coming at you with part 1 of the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross free-to-play Is It Worth It series. A bit of a mouthful to get through there, guys, but luckily I didn't jumble anything up, so we're gonna get right into it with some daily rewards. Excited to see all the new player rewards that I get as time goes on, and it looks like there's some skins mixed in. I'm not sure if they have stats yet. I guess I'll figure that out as time goes on. Just to let people know beforehand, this is a blind run. I don't look up guides, I don't look up meta teams, anything like that. So everything you see I do, you can tell me in the comments if I've done wrong. Obviously I'm going to make a lot of mistakes here, but what I do is for the purpose of the video and figuring out for myself. So I go in 30 days, basically, and give what I think about the game overall. How free-to-play friendly is it? And so I'm going to preface this also with, I've been a big fan of the 7 Deadly Sins series, watched all the anime, despite when it got bought out by another studio and ended up going a bit downhill in the quality. Well, more so probably fell off the face of a cliff is a better way of putting it. I wasn't exactly happy with how it ended in the last few seasons, but that being said, I also read the manga on it before the anime had even finished, so I enjoyed it a lot. So first things first, the animation, the combat animations, every bit of this I'm loving so far. You can tell it's really well funded. I do like the card style where you can kind of swap cards together and get them upgraded to be able to release a stronger version of that skill. So there's a bit of strategy involved. I always love to see that because it adds a little more flavor to the game. It doesn't feel so much like I'm just pressing auto and playing regardless. So going forward, I'm excited to see that they already have the auto battle and the 2x speed unlocked. So that's going to save me a little bit of clicking down the road, because early on, most importantly, most of the things are going to be really easy to beat. And they're already supplying me with a lot of pretty high rarity heroes, a lot of supplies to get them as high level as I currently can, so that the early stages are going to blow through. Now, you will see me skipping a lot of story. Like I said, I love the series, I know everything that happens in the story, and from what I had seen, everything just completely follows the story up into probably a certain point, I'm not sure, but as time goes on, I'll try to read and make sure that I'm not skipping something important. I usually do skip in most games for time save, but I like to go back and read them. But if this is the same as the actual series, then I'm not too worried about skipping it, because I already know everything that happens. So one cool aspect is, other than when you're outside just doing the fights, you get to do a lot of walking around. It gives it a little more of a do-it-yourself kind of element, instead of just autoing a battle and then clicking outside of a stage. So I like the aspect of going around and being able to talk to people, being able to direct myself to where I go. Now, there is also a way you can auto do the quest, so if you want to be a little lazier with it, you don't want to interact as much, there is always that option. But I like being able to control my hero for the most part. Like I've said earlier, if it's a stage early on, I don't care if it auto plays it for me, but later on I'm going to have to form more strategies and play a little more myself, and so I enjoy that aspect. It looks like we're going to get some, I don't know if it's going to go based off buffs or what with the cooking system. As I get more into that, I delve more into it, I'll be able to talk about it more. But I do like the fact that Meliodas is doing the cooking, because he's a horrible cook. So obviously this is probably the part where he gives the boyfriend, the boy hates it. But the whole sense of it is, following along that story and something that you really love is always fun to watch. And one of my favorite parts of starting a new game is going into the mail and seeing just how generous the game is for new players. And it looks like I'm getting a ton of stuff. I'm getting free high-level coins, free gems for summons, free resources, free hero enhancement materials. It's all so nice to see. A breath of fresh air, giving me my first strong team so I can go out and get as far as possible before I need to start actually worrying about more of the gear farming or the hero farming, looking for what teams may fit well with each other. Now the coin shop, I don't quite understand yet. I think it's probably something to do with when you get duplicates, you can transfer them into trying to get other heroes. I'm not quite sure on that sense. But the summoning screen is really cool. There's also a lot of things to go through in the summoning screen. Some of them you can use for gems to roll for summons. Others you can do certain tickets that you earn through gameplay to put forth towards these. Now you'll see me doing some reading on some of these skills because I like to know what they're all about, what kind of things I'm looking for, and since I do really like Purgatory Meliodas, I'm going to draw for him. May not be that great of a hero, I understand. Please do understand that I like to do these for the video. I like to do summons because as I'm playing through a month, depending on whether or not I keep with the game, if I like it enough, I will. If I don't like it as much, I tend to drop it for another piece of content, but if I do like it, I add it to my repertoire, so at some point you may see me doing multiple series, more than just 3. I added one with Epic 7 recently. I'll probably end up adding Arc Knights because I really like Arc Knights as well. This game I probably will end up adding as well, and it's going to take so much of my time, but like I said, the other ones will be less so daily progress and more so an overall week's progress, so it won't be as bad, and I can play them outside of when I'm actually doing my main focus content. The summoning animation, very cool. I do like this. This is kind of like the fight based on was it the start of the 2nd season, I believe? So very cool to see, and seemingly they change. So each time he does it, it may have a different effect. As you see there, he got hit with it, it blew up on him. Other times he can reflect it back. Other things. It's very cool to see. I like the idea of the change, and I do like seeing all the actual heroes. They've got cool animations inside of that nice background. I do go ahead and skip it because I don't want to take too much time just doing that. I noticed as the gems are circling through the air, you can kind of get an idea of what actual rarity of hero you got, which is nice. So if I want to skip something that I got low rarity on, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way it saves time. I like to show off high rarity heroes though when I do get them. Now I got a free ticket from one of the mail things, or maybe it was from a daily login, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and pull that, and unfortunately somehow I end up pulling the only SSR I actually had up until that moment. So a bit disappointing to see, but kind of funny in a sense. I don't know how rare that would actually be, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pull on this, so please be nice to me in the comments. I just really like him. I'd like to get him and try him out for the team. I did pull, though, an SSR on the first tin pull of this, and it is a light element hero, which is very cool because so far it seems like the normal system where you have your like earth, fire, water, and then you have light and dark potentially. I haven't seen a dark unit yet, but I would imagine there are. It would only make sense being the 10 Commandments and stuff in the game as well. Here I was changing my graphics all the way up to the highest as I play on BlueStacks, so I'd like to get the most possible worth out of detail as I possibly can, and it happened to be that I started right before the reset, so I already got my day 2 reward. So if it looks like I didn't get the full game, but I did get the full playthrough as of the first day. It's just weird timing and weird closeout of timing. So already I leveled her up, took her in, so with all the resources I had, I barely had to use any to get her all the way to 50, so I have so much to use. So I'm going to be able to form probably a couple of teams just based off the resources they give me starting the game alone. Love to see it. Seem to be very generous early on. As time goes on, may change, we'll see, but I'm just giving you a quick run through of what some of the stuff looks like. I don't want to take too much time, especially in the first video. I tend to try to cut down my videos as much as possible, and then sometimes I don't leave enough footage for me to get everything that I want to say, and so I have to extend the footage. It goes past like 17 minutes, and it's rough. I do apologize. Obviously, it's not like me trying to get extra ad revenue, as I am not monetized. So do keep in mind, I'm trying to cut it down as much as I can. If I don't feel like I can fully get my point across, I will extend the duration. Also, if you have a comment or anything about my commentary, or there's certain things you want me to show as time goes on, maybe you want to leave some tips for me, that's great as well, because like I said, I can't look up guides, it's a blind playthrough, but I do use the community tips under the videos as part of my guide, because I feel like if it's community given, it's not as big a deal, and it's kind of more so I can choose whether or not to go with that, but generally I do, because everybody gives such good tips, and especially as veteran players. If you don't listen to veteran players, you're just kind of wasting some of your time, because they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. They give me the best start I could possibly have. Now, as a new player, if you're wanting to experience and you want to do well, it's best to look up a guide. But don't let the guide be the main thing you do. Kind of form your own opinion, form your own teams, play the way you want. You don't want to go just based solely on a guide, because that kind of takes away from the experience of it. But I just wanted to give a quick overview, guys. It's day one. As the day goes on, we'll see how much I can actually get accomplished in this, but I'm going to bring the video to a close, guys. I'm excited for this series. Also, I might not be giving my throat enough time to heal, as it is a little raw, so I apologize if the commentary is a little scuffed. But anyway, guys, this has been The Last Musketeer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.